mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
That's a cool shirt.
Thanks, buddy. Looks a lot like the Black Cat shirt now that I kind of think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually.
I think it's the same shirt.
It might be same gray.
Yep.
And then what's going on?
His phone is on right now, playing your own podcast.
I'm playing my own podcast. I apologize. The shirt is Charles Bradley, though. He's a great singer. He did the Changes cover.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going through. He always kind of looks like he's crying when he's singing.
Yeah, he's like he's taking a giant dump or something. Yeah. He's going through changes right there in the middle of the song.
We're all going through changes, baby.
Yeah.
And so it felt like an apropos shirt, you know?
I love it.
No Sleep, the podcast, officially and legally, is a comedy podcast. And thus, I will be performing some jokes. First joke. Been hearing a lot about the Antifa movement over these last few years, and frankly, I'm on board. I am deeply Antifa, and also do-re-mi for that matter.
Hit it.
Oh,
There you go.
I thought it might be a Vietnamese soup joke.
Antifa?
Yeah.
That might have been a better one. Do-re-mi-fa was a
Gotcha.
bit of a stretch, perhaps, unless you've been in chorus in the last 20 years. But to the shock of many, world-renowned physicist and cosmologist Stephen Hawking visited Jeffrey Epstein's island many times.
Ooh.
More like Stephen Hawktua-ing. Know what I'm saying?
Bet on that bang.
Bet on that thing.
I have one last one.
Oh, boy.
I'm no good at dating. I've got this bad habit of breaking up with a girl, still having sex with her, and then we always wind up getting back together. Now that's what I call an Xbox 360.
That's a good one.
That's it for me, folks.
Oh. Feel nervous. Ooh. Right. Did you guys hear about Abraham Lincoln? Have you heard recently that he was probably gay?
Mm-hmm.
He's probably gay or bisexual. So I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But I don't know if you heard that last week, Trump at a rally was going on and on for about 10 minutes about how big Arnold Palmer's dick is. I was like, actually, maybe Trump's a little gay. Or he really wants to be on the No Sleep podcast. Because we have a tendency, you know.
We do like to talk about pendants.
We do.
Ours
We
and
do.
all sorts of other ones.
Yeah.
Different scenarios.
I told a good friend of mine at work. I was talking about time off and having a baby, and that I was like, you know, I'm getting kind of fat. He goes, ugh. I wasn't gonna say anything. It's like, damn, dog. I was like, I guess, thanks. I wouldn't expect you to say anything.
Didn't want to bring it up.
That. Yeah.
I'm like you and the iguana. I don't want to bring it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
That iguana clip did very well for us.
It did.
That was
Shocked.
Burned up the charts.
That was hilarious.
I was happy to see that. Also, this isn't a joke, but it's been like a super warm October, and I love in Iowa. We just don't give a fuck. We're like, this is great. We love it because we do, I guess. But it's also like it's 70 degrees at night at the end of October. This ain't great. Meanwhile, Florida's drowning in North Carolina and record floods in France. And we're just like, well, it's pretty nice here. Sorry about your luck. Yeah.
Why do you think I own an ice cream shop in Iowa?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm profiting off this. It's been a great month for me.
Iowa's not so gay now, is it? Nah, we're still pretty gay.
Yeah.
At least on this podcast.
That's right. Talking about huge dicks.
Yeah, well, I didn't not to cut off Alex's segment here, but why was he talking about Arnold Palmer's
He was in
penis?
Arnold Palmer's hometown, I think.
There's a
And
giant
he just-
statue of his penis there.
And he just kept going on. He was like, in the locker room, the men would come out. He's like, I know there's some classy women here, but the men would come out of the locker room and be like, ooh, that's a real man right there. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dog? He also had another spell where he stood there silently for 20 minutes. Pretty cool.
Was he supposed to be talking?
Stand on stage
And that he had that rally where he played music for 38 minutes straight, and they were all kind of gay anthems, which is kind of hilarious. He played YMCA.
of course.
I was like, bro. And I think it's funny that all the Trump supporters, if he loses, are going to be like, this cannot possibly be real. Like, have you seen him?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure it couldn't be real?
He checked out a couple months ago.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I think you can expect it
know.
at this
Yeah.
point.
It's just funny, and they're still going to be like, it's fake, it's rigged. Like, the guy isn't quite all there, my friends. But okay,
Less and less by the day.
yeah, you better take your gun to the Capitol about it.
Oh, speaking of Donald Trump, he there we go. He went to McDonald's the other day and worked the fry station and ran the McDonald's. And it was a closed McDonald's as a big photo op because Kamala Harris said that she worked at a McDonald's back in the day in Oakland.
Right.
And he said she's lying. He made this whole fucking deal out of this. So my question is, hey, Kamala Harris, can you just say that you were once a skydiving instructor in the 90s?
Yeah. That you jumped off a building and just
Yeah. Can we get him to
flew
jump
right
out of an
back on?
airplane?
Yeah.
Preferably with a cheap line of
Yeah.
backpacks.
With Trump parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird flex to be like, now I'm going to go work at one pretend for a day
Right.
battle show.
Sure.
Yep.
I didn't hear anything about that. Then again, I don't hear anything about it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been deep in the moving process.
Yeah, yes. How's that going?
Pretty good. It reached an interesting point where I don't know, just all kind of came to a head with my landlord after years of like weird micromanaging and other bullshit. I was like, yep, I think I'm ready.
Bad landlords are the worst.
Yes.
Just the worst.
And I loved the place. And it was cool to live close by to Toll's family and some other stuff.
You're gonna have to drive over for Christmas now.
I know. It was a lot nicer to get baked and walk over. You know? But yeah, and just needing more space. I felt like I'd outgrown the container like a plant.
Yeah,
I was root
Do
bound.
you have some?
You were root
Do you have some
bound.
separate rooms in the new place?
do.
That's exciting.
It's I have a few doors, a few closets that are of man height,
Nice.
doors that are of man
Not
height.
not hobbit
Yes.
sized.
How's Miri doing?
She's loving it because it's all hardwood, so she goes.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Slide-
right. It was all
slides
carpet
around.
before.
Yep, that's honestly probably one of my favorite things is the no carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Carpet is not. I'm not a fan.
I
just
like
holds the stink.
having. I have had no carpet for a long time, but I will say that the family dog clip clopping around on the
Oh,
kitchen
that's
and the
right.
hardwood sometimes. I'm like, you got to stop doing that,
The
dog.
tinkling of
Yeah.
dog.
yeah, yeah,
And trim them nails.
yeah. They've been trimmed recently, and it did improve, but it's still there.
I could see. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
everything has. In wintertime, I'm sure the wood might be a little cold on my feeties.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'll have to deal with certain.
I'm never
much
barefoot.
better.
I will say, I'm never barefoot.
I remember back in the day, like you went to someone's house or your own house, and it was wall to wall carpet.
Oh yeah,
Everyone is fully
Ceiling was
carpeted.
carpet.
Yes. In
Yeah.
the 70s, the ceiling in the toilet was carpeted. Everything was carpeted. Shag carpeted.
I think it's
Yeah.
growing up. Our bathroom was carpeted, which is gross.
horrible idea.
Yes, yes.
What
the
a
toilet seat
horrible
lid with the carpeted
Yeah.
cover on it.
idea. Oh, I remember. We had that.
Yeah, me
Yep.
too.
That was like a
Yeah.
thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, of course, this makes sense."
Yeah.
I like
Nice.
the squishy toilet lid, the toilet seat, the one with like an inch of foam.
It's
Squish
like
around
a
it.
bus seat.
Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that I don't mind.
Yeah,
Sit down, get a little. Tss.
yeah.
Nice.
It's like a
Deflate it a little
semi
bit.
pulling up, like air brakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, thus far loving it because really the only I learned a lot of what I wanted at the next place from my current place, which is that place had so many windows, and I realized I really liked that.
Yeah.
'Cause that was all the apartments I really had before that was like one window.
Basement.
Looking
Yeah.
up at the lawn.
Yeah, something shitty, or So having all those windows helped my mental health a lot.
Oh yeah, you got
mean,
sunshine in.
Yeah, makes a big difference for me. So this place had a lot of windows. Still had some of the coziness and like old place factor that the previous place had.
The old building.
Yeah, it's an old building
Nice.
over in.
I like those old
Sherman
apartments.
Hill, so
Is it one with the huge doors? Did you get one with like the 9-foot tall doors?
Like the entrances are kind of like that.
Yeah.
But everything, real big. I guess the guy who built it was one of the original Yonkers people, and so he built that. And down below where you do the laundry and stuff, it's kind of cool. It looks like horse stalls because it was horse stalls. That's like where they would keep the horses to take into the 'cause at that
Into the
point,
city.
into the big city, because
Right.
at that
That's
point they
where,
were still a little outside of it.
The horse stalls is where Arnold Palmer used to stay when he was in town for the senior tour.
Arnold. Yeah. Feed him some hay.
Yeah. Some hay and some half iced tea, half lemonade
Yeah.
that he could rest his huge cock in.
Yeah, that's right. His cock gets his own drink.
That's right.
How
I have
far are we in
something.
Shiloh? A couple minutes.
Yeah.
It's, 8 minutes, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have
on
something to bring to you fellas.
I'd love to hear it.
That every once in a while someone actually does give me some money on Venmo. And our friend of the podcast, gave me a nice chunk of change.
Shit.
And
It was
asked-
a sizable chunk.
And he
if I
asked for some
remember.
advice. Our man Jay. He said, I'm 22, going through my first true heartbreak, feeling hopeless, hoping for some live advice from the wisest podcasters out there.
I mean, you came to the right place.
First and foremost, you're correct.
Yes, that's true. 22.
Money well spent.
Yes, absolutely. It is. To all you people out there listening, know it. It was money well spent. So send me some.
That's right.
And if you, I feel guilty when people people actually do send me money, especially
It's your Catholic school.
a
upbringing.
decent amount. That's right.
Yeah.
But so we gotta help them out.
Oh, most certainly.
I would say 22. That's rough because my first major heartbreak was I think I was 24 after a 5-year relationship. Maybe I was 23. Either way, it was miserable. I hated it. I did I lost some weight and got real ripped for a while there.
Of course.
But mostly, I don't know what advice to give because you just have to deal with it. And this will be one of the things that
Money well spent.
that increases. It will harden your shell. It will be like you molted and you're miserable for a while, but you will come out harder and stronger.
Yeah. Time is really the main ingredient.
Yeah.
There's no easy way out. There's drugs and alcohol, which is kind of fun, but that will not pull you out. It'll
Especially
just
at
drag
that
you in.
age, highly appealing.
Yeah.
And I would say, 22, 23. That's
Yeah, the first big heartbreak, that's one where you're just like, well, my entire life's over. I don't know what the point is anymore. I had this all figured out.
And that's likely the first big out of high school heartbreak, which does hit different than the in school big
Sure.
heartbreak
Oh,
if you
yeah,
had
yeah,
one
yeah.
of those,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Because in high school, it sucks because you have to see them all the time. And you think it'd almost be better because you don't have to. But in the very beginning, at least in my experience, I was like, now I can't know where she is, though.
oh yeah.
So now she's out. She's fucking Arnold
I
Palmer.
had that.
probably.
I used to have that horrible of like not wishing that they were dead, but thinking that life would be it would be easier if rather than dumping your ass or vice versa if they had just died.
Or killed you.
Yeah, yeah. Like, well, at least then I wouldn't have to think about what else was going on.
Yeah.
But
Because that is the torture. Is
yeah,
you're thinking of all the things they're going to do with someone else like they did with you,
right.
all that shit. And that's the stuff that, unfortunately, you are going to torture yourself with. But I think a lot of the advice already given is good. I wrote down don't seek to replace the feeling, feel the feelings.
Yeah.
So like,
Bathe in it.
yeah, I mean, you have to. The more you
born in it.
yes,
I'm molded by it.
the more you stay in the pit, eventually you will be strong enough to climb out like Bane.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Kind of. Because I spent all of my 20s not feeling all the feelings, drinking and smoking and drugging them away, and then I had to deal with them like late 20s, early 30s, pretty hardcore.
Yes.
And sort of where I am now. Another piece of advice I had for you: get a stuffed leopard, drill a hole, and get a condom.
You don't need a drill. You need a pair of scissors.
That's right. Cut her open.
Yeah.
That's that's more of a friend kind of advice.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who
And
did
pretty
that
soon,
once.
have you seen these robots? Come on, man. A couple years. If you're still out there feeling sad, you can just get yourself a robot.
Yeah. And listening to this podcast, I mean, as silly as it might sound, but we do share a lot about ourselves and
Yeah.
our own relationships. And there's tons of podcasts outside of our own that have helped me as well. You know, there's great comedians who have given advice on heartbreak and shit like that. Bill Burr has some good clips on that and I would kind of pair a little bit of what he said of starting to take better care of yourself, a la like what you said about losing some weight. Sometimes it does come from more depression and drinking.
Yeah, I was
sometimes.
thinking I lost weight and got ripped. I also got mono because I was fucking sleeping like an hour a night. And
So maybe not
drinking
that part.
And working out. Yeah.
And working out, of course.
But it does, like even just going for a walk, it's amazing to me how much like a good shower and going for a walk can change my outlook on
100%.
like just any situation in my life. You know,
Yeah, especially with heartbreak and stuff. It's easy, or anything when your life isn't going right. You fall into the depression loop, and you get up in your pajamas and you sit there all day, eat some garbage, feel bad, and then you just go to bed. Like,
yeah,
get up, take a shower, put some sweet tunes on, go walk a mile.
Yeah.
It'll change everything.
And as time goes by and the older you get, you'll realize you'll be like, oh, life just kind of sucks a lot of the time. You know? And you just gotta have to sit in it and be like, well, this blows, but here I am living.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
you just
something to be
continue.
proud of.
Yay. You just do it. You
Just JKL.
yeah.
Just keep living.
Yeah.
Life's a-
LIVIN. Living.
Oh, I thought it was an acronym. I was like, life is better.
Life is very infinite now.
Yes.
Sure.
What else? I'll go walk in the gym. Leopard already said that.
Leopard. Jim, leopard.
Oh. So yeah, my instinct was always to do bad things. I wanted whenever I was going through a breakup, I'd eat shitty, get drunk, do drugs, try to fuck, etc. But all those things actually make your body feel worse. If your body feels like shit, it's not going to be able to think well either. Now is when having a healthy body and mind is more important than ever to get through this. If you don't feel the feelings and take care of yourself, you're going to have to pay for it later with interest.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. The juice
And
is
I
running.
learned about interest recently. It's not just a one-time.
It accrues over time.
That is correct.
I would, and as much as dumb, this sounds like dumb advice, but don't dwell. And this is advice I cannot give, but I am giving.
It's
But
easier to give.
Yeah. I would say you can change the way you think. Not that I've ever done it,
but it's
but you can do it. I've stopped drinking. Now I only smoke sweet vapes. You know, no cigarettes. But don't fucking sit there and just think about it. Think about something else.
Yeah.
Anything, and you think you're like, I can't force myself not to think about it, but you actually can. And I found that when people told me that, like, just don't think about something else. Think about something positive. You're like, I can't do that. And then when you sit down and actually try to do it, you can do it. You can make yourself think about something else. And then you go, why am I thinking about this? I miss her. And then, you eat some ice cream.
But yeah, you had 30 minutes where you didn't.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it definitely goes
And
away.
it gets
over
better.
time.
Yeah, it's just there's no substitute for time. It just takes time. You got to eat it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Nothing
Don't go
drastic.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just know that everyone goes through this. It sucks.
Don't rip any apartment doors off.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of embarrassing shit you could do.
Yeah.
We have.
And I'm going to tell you, you should.
yes.
I mean, I
Especially
didn't go to school for a couple days one time because a girl broke up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
doing crazy shit where even like in the moment you're like, this is crazy. I should not
Your
be
brain's
doing
like,
that.
yeah, but we're doing it.
Yeah, and then you knowing that you're doing something crazy, and then being like, "Don't." Why would you know this is crazy? Don't do this. As your body is like continuing to do it, you're like, "Oh, am I fucking being controlled by a fungus right now?" I guess so.
Sorta.
Yeah. Don't do that,
Don't do that.
Jay.
Jay.
Don't. Yeah, you're young, man.
You're going to be okay.
You are.
You're going to laugh
Yes.
at this one day.
And if you listen to this, you're likely pretty handsome and cool. So
Yeah.
true.
You're halfway there.
if you do the
Yes.
math, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, yeah, feeling the feelings and there's no amount of mental gymnastics or aptitude, intelligence-wise, you can apply to that problem to like make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like getting the person back almost never works out because it's like worse than it was before it happened. Usually,
If you do,
Plus, you have the weakest hand ever now. You're like, now
Yeah.
I like
Oh, I-
cried my way
Yeah.
back into this.
Correct.
And now what am I supposed to do?
they
Be the-
resent
Yeah.
you.
be
You
the
resent
man?
yourself.
Yeah, right. It's over.
Yeah.
that was some of the, because I know that you, but in the past, even both of you guys be like, if you got this person back, what are you going to do then?
Yeah.
It's going to fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's
You're going to remember
true.
all the reasons why it was going to shit in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Because it's so hard to remember them when you're in the place you're in probably right now because all you can think of is like the one time it was awesome.
Right, yeah.
And you're living with that on loop.
And you're looking
forever.
at it with rose-colored glasses. That's
right.
You're thinking about only the positives. Just think about some of the negative shit, dog.
Yeah.
That shit sucks
Focus on
sometimes.
that.
Yeah. That's all I focus on.
Yeah.
She fucking sucked and you knew it the whole time.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
There was two of you. I always think about that too. It's like she wasn't perfect either, bro, or he. If you were dating a guy,
Yeah.
I don't know that you were. Probably you're no Abraham Lincoln, but
And I knew Abraham.
yeah, that's right. And you were not him.
I had sex with Abraham.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, and this is also a great time to lean on your friends. That's what your friends are for. They want to be there for you in these moments. If they're good friends, you know,
yeah,
they likely had interactions, you know, with that person as well. So if you really do just need to like get shit talking out of your system, you can do it in a safe place with them.
Right.
'Cause sometimes you do want to do that. You just want to like let her rip non-publicly about this person. You know?
Or if that fails, if you don't have friends you can do that with, then just go find a local open mic.
That's correct.
And puke it all up on stage and then go back home.
yes.
You'll meet a bunch of guys just like you.
Yeah,
probably.
right.
Yeah,
And then you'll start a podcast.
yeah,
That's correct.
yeah.
That is correct.
Yes,
And then you
sir.
became our competition.
Oh, wait. This is going
Did
too
I just
far.
find a room full of the biggest losers in town?
Hello.
All right, my people.
Yeah. But being alone, like some part of your day,
Don't isolate.
yeah, like, but isolating is not right. But feeling the feelings is right.
Yes.
But you don't need to do that by being alone all the time, focusing inwards. Like,
Yeah.
as someone who's done no shortage of that in my life, that can totally turn in on itself, and then you're like inside out, and you're just a big raw nerve, and everything hurts your feelings and shit, and it's not great. I can't remember what episode number that was, but it was maybe 15.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few. There's a lot of breakup. There's breakup movies. I was gonna say you could watch one of those breakup style movies, but those aren't great because in those kind of movies, the man is generally broken up with or dumped, and then he's very sad, and the movie goes on, and then he ends up with an even hotter girl than he was with before
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, and then you're like, this movie didn't fucking help my ass at all.
It could be you.
Yeah,
Forgetting
Mila
Sarah-
Kunis.
Yeah,
oh,
forgetting
bummer,
Sarah
dude.
Marshall isn't real. Isn't real life.
Swingers, Heather Graham.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall
You know,
is a great.
It is a great
Right.
movie.
That's a good
I like
breakup
Swingers
watch.
too.
Yeah.
Because
Swingers is a good breakup watch too.
Those are both movies of like that's how it actually pretty much went every time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of my landlord, I made this joke before, but the way my landlord is trying to get me back right now is the way I wanted all of my exes to react when we broke up.
Oh, baby, please.
But they never did. You know?
I promise I can change.
Yeah. I knew that was
this big sweeping gesture.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin, my ugly old lady.
You're gonna go to get the rest of your stuff, and your apartment's gonna be full of roses.
He's behind a big bear. He's like,
Huh? Yeah.
Hey.
I'll pay your utilities.
all right,
Yes.
I'm Abraham Lincoln, and you're any guy from that era.
Arnold Palmer.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, I mean, more than likely, I say this with love, Jay, you also probably fucked up in this. You know, always, right? Or maybe weren't perfect because no one ever is. So it's not a bad thing to really try to figure out like what you could have done better and just take that into the next thing of being like, all right, this next go around, I'm gonna try to be more open with my feelings with these ladies or whatever it is, you know, because they're almost always is a valid complaint from both sides in a breakup.
Yeah.
You know,
And improve yourself out of spite.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, spite will get you a long way.
Yes. We've discussed
Especially out
that.
of a relationship.
Yeah.
Oh,
Recently.
A little glow up for our
Yeah.
boy Jay.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
'Cause-
I think that, you know, that's a lot of the shit that's helped me. Yeah, definitely avoid reaching out to that. But like, oh yeah, this is actually some solid. Excommunicate each other on social media completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
that is
must.
a good idea.
It is a must.
Because you're going to
Absolutely.
keep talk about you'll keep dwelling. Keep
Yes,
going back.
it's not even like,
Like,
a
oh,
hate-
she looked at my stories.
Yes.
And you're like, hello. And then you're
yeah.
composing a 4-page long
Yes.
DM and you're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Let's move it over to Word
and
doc.
if yeah.
I got to do some formatting on
yeah, I
this.
really want to get this right. The spell check's a little better. on it. Yeah.
And if there is ever a possibility that you would get back together, it would only ever happen if she came to you.
And
Do not go to her.
yes, and it's going to be some years before, if it was ever going to work again, it's probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not a year, maybe
And look at
6 months.
I mean,
minimum.
you can just look at fucking Bennifer, J-Lo and Ben Affleck. They're falling apart yet again.
That's great.
So
Faster than the first one,
Yeah,
arguably.
that's right.
And a lot of that probably is from them romanticizing what was.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, actually, this is Jerry Seinfeld was talking about in New York, which he loves to do. But in some interview at like 92Y or whatever that, I don't know if you've seen that. It's like some sort of interview series they do with different artists and shit. But anyway, it was Jerry Seinfeld. And he's talking about New York. And he was like, people that I grew up with in New York talk about missing New York from like the Taxi Driver days.
Yeah. When it was shitty.
When it was shitty. But it romanticized him. But
Right.
he was
It
like,
was an absolute shithole.
Yeah.
they don't miss that New York. They miss being young.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of that.
Yeah,
like I think that
yeah.
J-Lo, Bennifer thing is that they just miss being young with each other. You know, more so than truly what their relationship was, which is totally different foundationally.
I also read a thing, and I highly doubt there's any factualness to this, that it was
Let it rip then.
something that resulted from old J-Lo spending time at Diddy's parties,
Yeah, I heard that too.
doing some stuff old Ben couldn't get over.
Oh, that's what this most recent.
That's what I heard just recently.
We all hope that's true.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that would be kind of cool.
But also, he's a raging alcoholic and she's nuts. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he
There's
did that whole movie of basically the way back. I think, which was in the midst of his divorce.
Not a bad movie. That was he was sober when he did that.
He didn't,
But
but it definitely seemed like it was a little like about himself.
Oh yeah, I mean,
did you direct it?
no, it was the guy that directed
Joe Dante?
Warrior. I don't know his name, but the UFC movie.
Oh, with Tom.
Yeah, they advertised that movie like it was going to be some kind of religious, especially with the title. I was like, what the hell is this? And I watched it one time and I was like, oh no, it's about Ben Affleck being a super alcoholic.
Like high school.
Yeah, trying to
basketball
coach high school basketball.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
and then showing up drunk, and they're like, "Sorry, bro, you're fired." He's like, "Oh,
Sorry, bro. This ain't Hoosiers.
yeah." Then he crashed. It actually had some of the cringiest for me watching it in the midst of pretty serious alcoholism. I was like, maybe it ain't so great. Yeah.
When they
Ben
really
Affleck
get
really
it.
opened up my
When
eyes.
Ben
here.
Affleck goes to piss, he goes into the wrong house to take a piss,
Oh damn.
and then gets caught, and then crashes into a boat in his car. And I was like, "Oh, been there, buddy." No, I didn't crash in any boats, but I did wake up in a house I didn't recognize once. So.
Wow. That's like a A Star Is Born is obviously a classic one for that too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Bradley Cooper, I still think about it all. Anytime I want to like fully drink again, I think about Bradley Cooper's big drunk face coming out of the SUV like that first night after hanging out with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I just want to take another look at
I just
you.
want to take another look at you. Where it's like this, what he thinks he has and is putting out to the world versus what is actually coming out. I'm like, that is every being drunk moment
The
of my
classic
life.
alcoholic or drunk guy move is like they're so like. I've been there
killed
many
that
times
shit.
where I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Well,
and
how do
the
you
real
do?
world is just like,
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Because somebody called my
a real
dad.
charmer.
Yeah, it's being real smooth.
Yes, sir. But I mean, that's some good ass acting, unless they're just straight up drunk, which I guess that's method acting at that point.
Yeah, and I think old Bradley Cooper is sober.
Yeah, maybe a long time sober. Now I think about it.
He has a new addiction though. I heard it's injections into his face.
Oh, is he rocking some
He is not.
Botox?
He doesn't look the same as he used to.
Oh man.
He looks a little.
Why? Why did he do that?
I watched. It was a recent-ish movie with J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Some sort of comedy where it's like a young kid.
Oh yeah. No hard feelings.
Yes,
Yeah.
which I actually thought she was great in it.
Yeah, it was funny.
I wanted
movie.
to see that. Yeah.
Running
But-
around naked.
Yes, but I could not help but be distracted by the work that she had done, and I'm sure there's like pressure to like never age in the
Yeah,
industry and
for
things
sure.
like that. And I feel bad for everyone that has that because I was like, I just don't think you had to do all that.
No, and I think
It's just a
actually
frozen
it
face
seems like
kinda
it
thing.
works out when people don't do that.
I think we're coming to the end of this whole.
I hope so.
I think, like the whole like the giant asses and the giant lip, the giant everything. I think we're done with that.
Yeah.
I think we're moving to the whatever the next era is more natural. I think that's happening right now.
Because we peaked with the cappuccino machine squirting off of Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
probably the peak.
I think that
Of
was
the ass
that
part, at
was
least, yes.
yeah.
So it was champagne
Oh, champagne, that's what it was.
from over.
You know what I was talking
landing
Espresso
on
would be
her ass.
that'd be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
different
yeah.
type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Dookie spray.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. That little,
Yeah.
or maybe the Kanye album cover, or the Orange Life of Pablo that had that random
Yeah.
girl's ass. That was kind of in that matrix of shit as well. But
Yeah. And pretty soon they'll just be able to be like AI, beep, 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 make this person look younger, beep, 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 and just click a thing, do it to the digital film, done. No problem.
put the Irishman filter on them.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be way
Smooth it
better.
out.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now we are in like sort of the 80s glamour photo level of like that AI refacing technology.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll have some good shit.
Yeah, that is true. There will be no need to go under the knife or get injections or all that shit because, like, no, we'll clean this up in post in like 6 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just tune you up. And
Well, I think pretty soon you'll be able to look. I don't know. You could write a movie, look at the camera on your computer, and act out all the parts, and then be like, boop, change this, beep, beep, beep,
Yes.
and then just star in your own movie.
Told in roots.
Yeah, that's right.
Highly controversial.
Yeah.
every role, Paul
It's
McGrain.
told. Puta kinte. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, everyone that I
Told
just
me.
did that. Yeah, told me.
It was accurate to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. AI did that.
That's right.
There's an AI video going around now where it's a MMA fight, but one of the fighters was replaced with C-3PO, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And you're like, yeah, that's like you can that'll be the future where you can just be like, no, now I want this person.
Now we can
Yeah.
actually see what a great white versus a grizzly bear would look like.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah, my favorite UFC AI is when somebody gets knocked out and then they show them driving away in a go-kart.
Oh, yeah.
The best. Yeah.
Fold over.
The floor opens up, they dive into it. The Little Mermaid's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those.
hmm
Start playing the drums.
I hope that internet stays around, you know.
Oh, I think it
that's the
will.
internet that keeps us honest.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Because as much as I can imagine being an actual celebrity, how frustrating it would be to have nameless, faceless, anonymous people roasting you on a level that you can't really like
Oh, man.
clap back
Yeah.
at, and any sort of you can't fight them in real life. I think it is needed though, because you wind up being able to say or make jokes that otherwise might be, especially nowadays, too risky for your job, or like if you had to have a LinkedIn connected to all the jokes you told online.
Right.
You know.
Wait. The people telling the jokes?
Yeah, where it's like the anonymity, I think, does benefit the comedy and also just like the airing out of culture.
Yeah,
you know? It also goes the other way too, of letting people fucking say dumb shit that they shouldn't otherwise say too. But I guess it's you got to take both.
Yeah, been there for both of them. Boy, yeah, the things I've written on the internet that I regret.
Have you ever went back?
Been a few of those.
Every
day I've got the time hop. I'm like, not bad. Yeah. I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? And then on a daily basis, drinking when I'd wake up in the morning and be like, oh, need to delete these 18 Facebook posts. Yeah.
I got hacked.
yeah.
At 1:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of breakups, I've had a couple funny time hops come up. I was like, that was definitely a breakup AJ post there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, never again. I'll never love again.
Yeah.
2012. I'm like, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm. Turns out he did, in fact, love again.
Yeah.
What a fool.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that, Jay, that's what will happen. Time will pass. You'll move along, and before you know it, something else will happen.
Before you know it, you'll be on a podcast of your own, laughing at it with your friends.
Yeah.
Being like, can you believe I did that? Can you believe I spent $300 on a like sapphire dolphin necklace?
Yeah. Can you believe I sent Cole McGrain $1,000 for terrible advice?
Thanks for the rack, Jay. That would be great. Venmo at Tobocop, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're liking the way this
Rack 'em.
advice, yeah. It will be $1,000 an hour for the advice.
That's fair.
I did buy a sapphire dolphin necklace. That is a true story.
You're getting
I knew
billed.
that was too specific to not be true.
I went over to Riddles, I think is the Ames jeweler in the mall.
Hellsberg.
Grabbed myself some pretzel nuggets and then went right over to the Riddles. And she used to work there actually. And I was able to get a discount because they knew that, I don't know if they knew we'd broken up yet. So
You're like, look at this.
I used her discount to buy her a thing. But
$1,000?
No, it was like $300.
Oh.
But it was my grand gesture moment of like, it was in the same exact chain of events where I like threw the bong into the dumpster in front of her. I was like, I'll never smoke again.
Yeah.
To get you back. And then I gave her the necklace and then like one other thing. I think it was like a coupon for a back rub type of thing. Just trying to pull anything together.
Yeah.
And she was still like, nah, dog.
Oh,
and then I
buddy.
was like, I could sure use that bong right now. Too bad it's fucking evaporated into a cloud of glass.
Mm-hmm. I went to a girl's place years ago, post breakup, and I was like, please talk to me. And then I got a text from Alex that was like, you should leave. I was like, what? like, what? How do you know I'm here? She texted me, you got to go, dog.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The choppers are on the way.
yeah. I was like, all right, I'll be leaving now.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Henry Hill.
Yeah.
Looking out through the
But I haven't got
windshield.
drunk for a week. Yeah.
I'm better now.
Yes.
Yeah, they never
Clearly.
Believe, yeah. They never believe it. And
Oh, the I'm better now speech is never true and never received
Yeah.
as anything but
you always think it's gonna work,
confirmation.
though.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I'm a different guy now. 48 hours after that.
you
last thing I
you
did.
convince yourself that it's true. You're like,
Oh
I'm,
yeah.
I fixed it.
I'm awake now. I
threw
get
that
it.
off.
You're right. I was a total piece of shit. I'm not now.
Yeah.
I changed everything.
It's
Yeah.
all clicked, baby.
Yep. All it took was 72 short hours,
Yeah.
and I turned my entire life around. And now you want this, right? No? What?
All right. I guess,
wanted
these,
that.
They're on their way.
yeah.
I guess these Bud Light Platinums are just for me tonight. drinking a lot of Bud Light Platinum back then.
Oh hell yeah! The big, tall, skinny, like dark blue.
Yeah, it was like an
Platinum.
aluminum bottles.
Yeah, it was like a
aluminum bottle.
fancier bottle, and they'll fuck you up.
8%.
Yeah.
Were they 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
shit.
drink those and then just
Platinum.
like play my drum set and
That's what I mean when I go. I'll drink those platinum seltzers, which are not good at all. But the old 8%ers.
they'll do you.
Yeah. Do you right.
Time to make a couple phone calls.
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Haven't updated the old internet in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now's the time to let the people know what I'm thinking about. Yeah. I see Jay, trust me, I see a lot of those posts for myself in the timeout, much like Toll says.
Yep. YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
time hop.
Definitely don't take it to the internet. That is also just block each other. Not out of hatred, out of like pure logistics. Just
For your own mental health,
Yeah.
you don't want to.
gotta thank
Unfriend,
yourself.
block, no vague book postings.
No.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Don't write any sad Facebook posts.
no All American Reject lyrics, nothing.
Nope.
Not once.
I certainly would never do that.
Nope.
We all move along. All right. Yeah. Don't do that, buddy. I think that's overall some pretty good advice. What do you think, Shiley? You got anything?
From the
Yeah.
I think you really
From the feminine perspective.
covered it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the blocking is definitely the move.
definitely black.
That's
Shiloh's sitting back there thinking, how could anyone have ever broken up with any one of these guys?
That's
yeah.
what?
3 catches like you.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's right.
It's like
We're
3
like,
Marlin just hopped on the boat.
That's
you
right.
know?
3 sapphire blue.
Pearl-filled clams over here.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That was a bad choice for the necklace, too. I should have known. I was like, this.
Yeah, what was the motivation behind that particular piece of jewelry? Is there a story there?
She was kind of like a airbrush art dolphin kind of girl, really.
Oh.
Like that was kind of her vibe. So the dolphin kind of made sense, and then the sapphire, I was just like, blue, whatever. I mean, at that
my
point,
price range.
yeah, at that point you're just kind of making it like with the 30% discount.
You're talking to her coworkers like, which one would she want?
And I literally did it. I'd be like, what do you think? I'm really
If she dumped you, what would you get her?
hypothetical.
Yeah.
Hypothetical.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that was one where I remember, like, that was the first and only girl I like fully shared a place with, where we like both were on the lease and all that. stuff,
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Ooh,
And
on
that
the
was-
same lease.
Yeah, that was a toughie. Eventually, my younger brother and some young ladies moved into the house to help me pay for it because I
Nice.
could not afford it.
Ah,
But that was, and to this day, I mean, that was one where even as early as a few weeks after, I was like, fair enough. Like, I just knew,
yeah.
like, she was right to leave, basically.
Oh, yeah. You
Which I don't know if
generally-
that's his situation,
Yeah.
but, you know, even
Yeah.
when you fuck up at that level that I did of just not being a good boyfriend for a long time, even that you can, like, come to grips with and work your way through.
Yeah. When you look back years later and go, oh, yeah, I had that coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tough to admit, you know, ever. So
Yeah.
if two, geniuses like us can say that,
Yeah.
Jay, you'll probably be all right, buddy.
Yeah. And we're not saying that you did
No.
either.
And sometimes you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
It's
you know?
not working.
Yeah. The girl I dated that only had one eye, she broke up with me. She broke up with me, and that was an absolute, like, not only did she do it so cool, she literally, like, helped me pack up my Bud Light Tall Boys, and she was just like,
Gonna take the Bud Platinums with me?
yeah. She let me finish the meal that we were having at her place.
Did
that
she give you some
made.
good eye before you left? Some of that sweet, sweet eye hole.
Yes. One more time. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where she was just like, "It ain't for me, man.
Yeah.
You ain't for me," and I had to respect the honesty.
Did
I was-
you kind of feel that later, though? Were you like, yeah, that's probably right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just kind of took her at her word. I actually kind of that was one where I did kind of like try to fight for it in the moment a little.
Yeah.
Of like, no, like I think because this was me kind of freshly into Des Moines. I don't think I'd even started stand up yet,
Yeah.
and met on Bumble, and I was trying to make friends and
Yeah.
meet people, and didn't even have a car yet. I had to take a bus to hang out with her. And I would like get off the bus.
This is when you're on the east side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get off the bus at her place in Sherman Hill, and then I'd go to the gas station and get like 2 of the Bud Light, like the 2 for $5.
Oh, the gigantic.
So yeah, I wasn't exactly a catch. So it was one of those things.
You can't dump me. The buses aren't running.
You know, Holden is outside. Yes. So it was always, like we were in very different parts of our life, so it was kind of fair enough because she was doing very well. I think she worked at principal and all this stuff, so it was kind of nice of her to even like date me for as long as she kind of did.
Yeah.
You know, so
I had
shout
the
out to her
old
for that.
going back. I mean, like, what the hell are you thinking? You know, with me in general. I'm like, all right, do what you want. You know?
I'll go along the ride with you.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Maybe sign some paperwork here real quick.
Yeah, but it's all. I mean, it's a testament to, you know, a lot of people aren't shallow in that way, at least.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is nice. You know, there's probably lots of people out. I mean, not that they would need to not be shallow for you, Jay. You seem like a great guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe
Ooh.
maybe have a vehicle.
Oh, I smelled that beer. It smells
Man.
delicious.
It's not actually.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's skunked.
Maybe that's why I smell it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, I mean, as long as you have wheels and maybe don't show up drunk with more beer with you every time.
Yeah.
Or do. I don't know.
What do I know? It's 2024.
Getting drunk and eating pastaroni did all right for me for a while. But I like the Parmesan garlic one. Garlic and herbs, or what, the angel hair one.
That's a banger right there.
Yeah.
Angel hair, so it's fancy. You're like, oh, look at
Yeah.
this thin spaghetti. Wow.
Mm.
I'm not poor.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Jay, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the best, buddy.
Yes.
You got this.
As
You're
do
22. You got
You got this.
You got the world by the balls.
Here we go. Oh, this was from earlier. It's very hard to tell what's a TV show and what's an actual domestic dispute through drywall. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Like in an apartment building.
Yeah.
Upstairs, I heard people yelling, but now with like subwoofers, I couldn't tell if it was like actually a domestic dispute upstairs, and I didn't want to call the cops on like somebody just watching the Penguin or something.
Right.
Oh, the new guy just called the cops on him.
I was worried about you. That wasn't my AJ impression. That was just a nosy neighbor impression.
I like that as an age.
Okay. All right.
I remember I used to, like the first time I ever created my own voicemail message on a phone, I was appalled at how low my voice was. Like I had such strange thing, like where I didn't want to be taller either. I wanted to be, everyone that was cool in my school was shorter than me and didn't have deep voices. So I deeply resented both of those things, like about myself, you know?
And now look who you consort with.
I know. And now I'm like, I wouldn't mind if it was deeper, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, I wish I hope I stay short. I hope my voice doesn't get lower.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think also maybe some people have a hard time just hearing their own voice anyway.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah. When I was younger, I did.
Or it's just not.
Not no mo.
Yeah. You know. It's not the way you hear it in your head when you're speaking usually.
Right.
Through years of podcasting, it's taken the edge off. I'll
Yes,
say that,
for
but
sure.
I'm still no fan. Where I'm just like,
It's more the things I'm saying now. Where I'm like,
Not the
oh, boy.
tonality.
Yeah. I'm like, I sound great, but I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah.
My timbre is terrific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just around. But yeah, it is weird where I was like, I guess I'll wait for the gunshot to like call 911.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like,
was it that bad?
I mean, they were really yelling at each other, but I really could not tell if it was a TV or not.
you have to wait till you hear a bang, like something got thrown or dropped. or
Yeah,
slammed.
there wasn't enough like stomping.
Yeah.
But I was like, they could be just feet planted.
Speaking of the Penguin, have you guys seen the most? Or when does the episode come out? Have I not?
Sunday.
So I haven't seen the most recent episode, I guess, but I saw the episode before,
I've seen that.
and goddamn, not for the kiddies. I like her like, hey, this is a Batman, and then you're like, oh my god, like, yeah, not intense.
Yeah, it's HBO, baby.
Yeah, they're really going for it.
It makes me excited to see what this. I guess they'll probably have to clean it up a little for the movie. For the next
Yeah,
Batman,
unless they're
but-
going for a hard R Batman, which would be shocking.
Was the last one not R?
It was PG-13 somehow, even with the fucking carpet knife murder.
Yeah, that was pretty tough too.
Yeah.
Have they made? No, they haven't made an R-rated Batman
No,
yet.
I think
have
they only
They made an R-rated Joker, and that was a big deal.
they made R-rated Joker, R-rated
made a new
Wolverine, and
Joker.
R-rated Deadpool Wolverine. I think those are the only R-rated.
They should make an
mainstream.
R-rated Batman, and he just says "fuck" every other word.
Yeah, it doesn't
Otherwise,
really do
it's the
anything.
same.
Yeah,
Alfred, where's my fucking bull? You dumb fuck.
yeah. You stupid bat fuck.
Yeah.
Bat fuck yourself.
It's up my ass, Master Wayne. That's just that's a little Michael Caine impression.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, speaking of Joker, Foley Adu, Foley Dookie. That was like.
Yeah, a monstrous flop.
Yeah, I had to look up what
Hilarious.
Foley Adu even meant, but I guess it's like
Two fools.
it's like two brains being
Yeah.
shared, like two crazy people thinking they
Yeah.
can like communicate telepathically
Yeah.
or some bullshit. But I guess it's a musical.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
And apparently, like, it's not a good musical. I think I give Todd Phillips props because I feel like they had to know this wasn't going to work. Like, I don't know in what world they thought it was going to work.
Yeah, it feels like Todd Phillips made the Joker, and it made $1 billion.
Yes.
and he did not want to do another one.
Right.
He's like, "This is just the story I wanted to tell,
Yeah.
and that's it. So just deal with that." And the studio people are like, "No, we want another $1 billion."
Yeah.
please." He's like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm going to make this then.
Yeah.
So have fun with that."
Also, it has nothing to do with the Joker. You know the Joker from the comic books? No. We'll call him the Joker, and there will be a Harley Quinn. But aside from that, and there will be an Arkham Asylum. But other than that, not a damn thing.
'Cause
You're
that's
not,
where
you're not
I think
going to
it all takes
recognize a
place.
single thing. Yeah.
Right, is Arkham. You know? Like the concept itself from the outside sounds kind of interesting. Of like it's all in Arkham, they're falling in love, but like I don't know, I haven't seen it, so I have either of you.
No, I have. I mean, I'll see it when it is. I didn't like the first
When
one. that
Red Box
much.
gets it.
Yeah. But I do give him props for making a movie that everyone hates.
Yeah, I
And
guess
that
I didn't hear the
especially,
perspective.
And it seems like that was the intent.
it does seem like that. And especially for the people that loved the first one too much. Like
Yeah.
the dudes that are like, yeah, the Joker knows what's up. And then the second one, they're like, no, he doesn't.
Right,
And I feel like that is just kind of fun that he
Yeah.
did
like
that.
invalidating the 4chan guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Taking Warner Brothers money and lighting it on fire
Yeah.
to prove a point.
Also, how did
That's
that
a real
movie-
Joker thing right there, you know?
Very much so. And
Because it would be like, not to cut you off, but the biggest fall from grace talent wise, like almost unthinkably big, if it was truly just like Todd blew it. But there's no way that could be it. I mean,
I don't know.
I could see a guy taking a huge swing and it misses.
Yeah.
but
I don't think that
I
was
hadn't
it.
heard that perspective.
It
that you were
feels to
talking about.
me, and there's no, unless he comes out and says it, it seems like they made a movie no one's really going to like on purpurpose.
Yeah.
because
Does it-
the studio might have been like, if you don't make it, we'll just hire
I
someone to do
I don't
it.
know.
Probably.
And it'll
Yeah.
still have
Or they
you
didn't
kind of
like-
attached.
I really don't know because its second week, Terrifier 3 made more money than the Joker 2 did.
It dropped like 80%.
Yeah, it was
in
one of the
week.
biggest drops of all time for a comic book movie.
Well, even like the promo leading up was shit. Like I didn't see much at all. Where like I remember that first Joker coming around, it was like built up well.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah, when they announced it and they were like, "It's Lady Gaga's going to be Harley Quinn," it's like, "Oh, exciting!" Like, and it's going to be a musical, and they're crazy. I'm like, "Well, uh-oh,
yeah, sure. A Star Is Born was cool. Maybe something like
but
that.
I don't know."
yeah.
Lady Gaga can sing well,
Warner Brothers is kind of
and Joaquin did Walk the Line. You know, whatever.
Yeah, but it seems like Warner Brothers, they really have no fucking clue what they're doing. in
They've
general.
proven it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
over and over.
One of the biggest IPs in the world, the DC comic universe, and they just can't stop stepping on their own
Yeah.
dick. They just can't do it.
And then now they're like, "What? James Gunn, fix this, please," and we'll see. And then you see that Crypto Superdog is going to be in the new Superman movie, and you're like,
Okay.
"I think that's fun, but we'll see."
Crypto Superdog.
Crypto the Superdog is in the new Superman movie.
Is that a real character?
Crypto is a real character.
Oh, okay.
Basically, Superman's dog.
I didn't know if it was like
it's a dog
product
from
placement,
Krypton. Yeah,
like Bitcoin product placement.
Nope, it's a
Crypto, the super dog. Brought to you by Better.com.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Ethereum and Dogecoin.
Interesting. So is James Gunn coming in like to head Warner Brothers?
He's coming in to head the DC universe because
maybe
he did.
Doesn't it seem like
Peacemaker,
it's too late at this point?
and he did Suicide Squad. I think it may. I don't know. Is it too? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it felt like it was too late pre-Christopher Nolan almost at one point, where
Yeah.
it was like those Tim Burton ones were pretty rough by the end there.
Yeah.
And it felt like no one would ever do Batman again, but it seems like people are always willing to go see him.
Yeah.
You know?
Even when he's not in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just Joker 2 just proved that that is not the case. And as did, I mean, I think the Justice League and Batman vs Superman both underperformed pretty hardcore, even though they still made like $800 million. But they both sucked ass also. So
What's the best, most recent superhero movie then?
Deadpool Wolverine
Oh yeah, fair.
made ass tons of money and was very enjoyable.
Yeah, that was two very liked worlds colliding of
Yeah.
Hugh and Ryan
Yeah.
as well. That never hits.
And it also were just like, we know what you're here for, so we're gonna give it to you.
Yes.
And it was like, thanks.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what they're banking on James Gunn doing for the new Superman movie.
Not being afraid of fan service. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Not being afraid of letting people know that it's also a comic book where it's like, it's a comic book world, so dumb shit can happen. Just like the Suicide Squad, his sequel / remake, just Redux, I guess, where they just like, let's try this one again.
Take it from the top.
Yeah, yeah. We can use some of the same people. We're just going to pretend the first one didn't happen.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. And it was very enjoyable.
That was a bold move to just reach out. But hey, I mean,
They
it,
did, yeah,
And
it
4
was a
years later,
bold
like,
move.
okay, all right.
And then the Peacemaker series is good on Max. And yeah.
sometimes the bold move isn't the worst thing. I actually had a note here because I looked up kind of the remaining interesting to me at least movie. Saturday Night came out, I think.
Yeah, I think
already,
Alex saw that.
which sounds like it was good. Wes is one of my go-to movie reviewers.
Yes, I do enjoy his short reviews.
And he sees everything
yeah,
first,
yeah.
it seems like.
He sees damn near everything.
So that I want to see. Gladiator 2, actually, I'm a little intrigued.
Yeah.
by.
You know, I was
But also, I was going to say Sonic. Speaking of someone who
one.
took the L and was like, you know what, folks, we're going to come back with
Yeah.
a new one.
yeah.
Because I looked up that original picture, and it does look like he's made of blue pubes.
Oh, yeah, with those horrible teeth.
Yeah, he has like donkey
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were
donkey teeth.
they put out that initial image, and I remember just seeing it everywhere. And they were like, I mean, like the guy who spelled potato wrong. Like they literally
the rap.
Yeah, they Dan quailed that song
Yeah,
so
they did.
hard that
Wrap
they
it
were
up.
like, "We're gonna come back with a new one, folks. We're gonna delay this," and
Yeah.
it came back.
And they've done great.
And speaking of,
I like
Sonic
them.
3 is
Yeah.
coming out this December.
I
3 fucking
enjoy
movies.
that Jim Carrey is all in on playing Dr. Robotnik. It's like, what are you doing here?
Well, he
You
said
see
he's
it,
like,
you're
I'm not gonna. He's like, I'm done acting.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I don't. Nothing is. I don't really care about it anymore. I've done it all.
Yeah.
I'm just not into it. And you're like, all right, fair enough.
And then he said,
And then
it-
somehow they talked him into being Dr. Robotnik in
Yeah.
the Sonic movie. And you're like, what? And he keeps doing them, and they make tons of money,
Yeah,
and they're
they're
great.
fun.
I guess.
Yeah, the money
for
never
kids.
hurts,
No.
even as Jim Carrey.
Doesn't
Right.
hurt.
He did say something to the effect of like, unless the angels come down and give me a perfect script, I might never act again. And they're like, oh, and they gave you Sonic the Hedgehog?
Dr. Robotnik.
Yes. But he is fun, and it's fun to see him all in.
Yeah.
Just being a goofball in a movie for kids.
Yeah, I've only watched that first one, so I'll have to maybe get caught up to see
I've
the
seen
third.
the first one, the second one. I watched the Knuckles series.
Damn.
God name.
That, they're fun.
Yeah,
Not
and
great.
even
They're all right.
Detective Pikachu. I was impressed by Detective Pikachu, and I enjoyed
Oh
it
yeah,
quite
I
a bit.
forgot about that
It was
one.
a good movie.
The SNL
yeah.
movie is good though.
I want to see it. I think I might actually try to get to
I'm
the
a
theater
super
for it.
SNL fan, and I was a little leery when I heard about it, and I saw the casting of who's going to play all the people. They're all, I mean, who's going to play Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, Jane Curtin, all these people we all know. I'm like, I don't think so. I watched the movie. I'm like, they did it. It's really good.
Yeah.
But it's like a real time movie, like 90 minutes of right before the first episode aired and everything. So you watch it and then it ends with the show starting and then that's it. And you're like, can I get 8 more of these, please?
Right.
Like, this seems like this should be a series.
Yeah.
It's so, I mean, it's real well done. Not perfect, but way better than I thought it would be. But I'm just like, oh, this is.
So is it following Lorne around, kind of?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah.
It's fun. I had the same dude I just
you
saw
see it
today.
too?
I haven't seen
Oh,
it,
okay.
no. I saw the same guy plays Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman in the same movie, which was kind of fun.
That was the same dude?
Same dude, yeah.
He nailed both of them.
Yeah.
That was the same guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a tall guy from Succession.
I remember thinking, man, I don't think Andy Kaufman is that tall, but he's doing him well, and he killed Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Perry Mason as George Carlin, perfect.
Oh, wow.
Matthew
Interesting.
Reese, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All the people that, I mean, it was perfect casting. Everyone, it was great.
I saw the guy, I don't know his name, but the guy doing Dan Aykroyd, doing his Dan Aykroyd, and I was like, I didn't really know you could do a Dan Aykroyd.
That's what I thought,
Yeah,
too.
I was like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is like him as Zelensky and Tommy Boy. Like that's, but even that, I don't know if that's Dan Aykroyd more of like natural Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, he's
that's
putting
more of
on
a
like that
character.
Chicago accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only like one I could kind of get handles on, maybe. But interesting. That's always impressive when someone can pull out like a super subtle impression like that.
Yeah.
What year was that first episode?
75.
75.
Yeah.
And what did they cover? Like how they promoted it to the world? Like how did was it just like, hey, we're gonna do a live sketch show? Folks?
So the kind of the backstory, and I read the 1,000-page book on Saturday Night Live. I like to brag about that. I read a 1,000-page book on the history of Saturday Night Live. It's like this, and they talk about it in there with the beginning. Johnny Carson was in contract disputes with NBC, and they always showed reruns of Johnny Carson on Saturday nights, and it did really well. And they were having contract disputes, so NBC, to fuck with them, was like, "Oh, we're going to put something else on Saturday night." So they gave Lorne Michaels this crazy live show with all these unknown people, thinking this is not going to work, and who gives a fuck? We're just going to burn this to get back at Johnny Carson. And so the whole time, they're like, everything's going wrong. They're trying to get the show mounted and ready to go, and it's all going wrong. Blah blah blah. And the whole time they're like, well, we have this tape. They have like a reel to reel of a rerun of Johnny Carson, and the exec is there ready to push play.
Oh.
And so at the very last minute, they're like, are we going to go live, or are we going to push play on this? Because that was the whole. That was. So it was not promoted really. It was just.
Oh.
It was like, hey, look at this kooky thing we're doing. We're not really going to do it because
Because
we're
it
trying to
would-
fuck with Johnny Carson.
And with only 4 channels,
And it was a huge hit.
everybody would have watched the rerun of Johnny Carson
Absolutely.
anyway.
Yeah.
So then you
Wow.
don't even, yeah.
And you say it was a hit kind of out of the gate. Wow,
Yep.
nice. Yeah, I really don't know too much about all that history, so it's fun to hear it because it's one of those things that I didn't grow up watching really either. But I know it's such a part of other people's life, even other people I'm friends with or grew up with. They grew up loving it,
Yeah.
so it's interesting to hear like just how it all came together.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, even as an outsider, it is insanely impressive to do what they do every week.
Yeah.
Dude, the short videos now are mind blowing to me. That they do, like the produced videos that they do.
That Mario
Like,
one was
That
pretty
Mario one, the one they did one with Ariana Grande that was like her furniture was all puppets
Oh,
coming
yeah,
to life
that
and
was
shit. And I was like, they did this in 5 days?
Yeah.
How the fuck did they do this? Impressive. It wasn't even that great, but it was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the production side
Yeah.
is wild. What was Jim Henson's role in the whole thing? Did
They had
he
the
just-
Muppets on.
The Muppets were on the whole first
The
season.
first one they
Yeah.
had the Muppets. They had George Carlin was kind of host, but it was not the same as it would be now. He opened the show and then he did stand up later. They had another lady that did stand up. They had a musical act. Like, it was more almost like a variety show because variety shows were huge in the 70s. So it was less focused. So there's a ton of shit. But
Okay.
yeah,
And the Muppets likely were already pretty big at that point then?
They
or-
were on the come up. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I just watched the Jim Henson documentary, and the Muppets were more established, obviously, than SNL was.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Muppet Show did not exist yet, but the Muppet people and the SNL people did not get along at all.
That was clear. In the movie.
yeah, they did not like each other because the Muppets were like button down nerds.
Yeah.
Trying to get their
Jim Henson was
puppets
very
to work.
serious about
Yeah,
his.
well, because
Muppets.
I
Yeah,
watched that
yeah.
documentary about Jim, which was fascinating
Yeah.
because he was clearly a guy who was like almost hostage to his work.
Yeah,
Like,
I know a guy like that.
but he was a guy like truly, kids never saw him kind of shit,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I could see them maybe not getting along.
yeah. It's funny to
That
hear
does seem like kind of more fun party people.
like Brian Henson being like, "Yeah, I wasn't really close to my dad till we started working together." And they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Kind of makes sense when you that much output coming from your brain, like just all the shit he was doing.
laser focus.
And then like he got Sesame Street, and they're like, "Do whatever you want." And he was making like avant-garde short films for children, essentially, like 10 of them a week.
Yeah.
And they're like, it was killing it with kids. And then a couple years of that, he's like, I need to do something else. Like, he wanted to move on to make something bigger and better.
Better scared stupid.
Yeah. 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 And then he did a couple movies that didn't do well. Labyrinth, which everyone loves now, and The Dark Crystal, which some people love, but
They rebooted it on Netflix even.
they did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I don't think that did that great either.
No, but there's probably enough of a
Yeah.
cult following.
Mhm.
Yeah, interesting. I'm assuming you saw it in theaters then?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to Flicks?
Sure did.
Did you?
What'd you eat?
Yeah, what'd you eat? That's the important part.
Let's see. It had some cheese curds
Oh, okay.
and some pizza.
What did you get? The steak pizza?
No,
Oh,
I think it was the
why'd you even go then?
Yeah, same.
the pepperoni
Amateur
pizza.
hour. Yeah, they do the double pep is good. The pizza in general is, I mean, all their food's pretty good. I was telling Dave I'm actually supposed to have a little meeting with like one of their main big managers over there because they also run off Toast, and I was like, them serving that many theaters for
Right.
the future club and stuff. I was like, how do you handle doing like
Yeah.
all these rooms? And because you think about it, especially if it's a big night, like that many theaters running at
Yeah.
once, all ordering loaded fries and fucking nachos
Yeah.
and shit.
Nuts.
Like, how do you know how many cooks to have
Yeah.
and whatever?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
I had 2 times in a row where they fucked up my stuff and I didn't have to pay for it. Pretty cool.
that is cool.
Yeah.
What else is?
You should try to buy one of those robot waiters that they have.
Oh
Do they have-
god.
Yeah,
I forgot.
that they all. I deliver beer there, so I see them in the back hallways, just sitting there.
Beep boop.
Yeah, yeah.
Where at?
At Flicks.
They have robots there?
Yeah, they did. They don't use them anymore.
I remember there's a place in the East Village like a couple years ago that they're like, we can't we can't find anyone to hire, so we got a robot, and it was just the worst.
Oh yeah, these robots. I don't think these were
It's a
good.
packed bar, and this little robot's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
They're basically
Beer
taller
spilling.
Roombas.
Yeah. Shop vac with a wig on.
your tray comes and it's just full of beer, and your glass is empty. You're like, all right, good job, robot.
Yeah,
The
thank
future
you.
is now.
Then it has that little screen for a
I don't
tip
know.
that pops up.
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah. No. The future is, I mean, in the next couple years, there's going to be anthropomorphic robots walking around, and I don't know if I can handle it.
I don't think society can, because I've seen like
I think
those
that's
Tesla
why we're
robots.
falling apart already.
When as soon as one of those things hits the street and like he's picking up garbage, that thing will be beaten up for parts within 7 minutes.
But what do they design them to beat people up or insert like a self-defense?
Yeah.
Well,
Then we're going to be like, oh, shit.
yeah.
Well, there's that hilarious story. They covered it on Opie and Anthony where there's a robot that they built in Canada that was supposed to hitchhike from Canada
Oh, yeah,
down to
Hitchbot.
Hitchbot,
yeah.
and it got to like Jersey, and they beat the shit out of
it. Philadelphia.
yeah.
They got to Philadelphia and got the shit.
Yeah, just
it traveled all the way across Canada.
Yep, no problem.
And then it got to Philadelphia and got its ass kicked.
It like got beat to smithereens.
That's right.
I
So
heard
there'll
that
definitely be
story,
some of that.
They have those
people fucking with it and stuff.
in LA. They have the delivery cooler bots on 4 wheels.
too. Oh yeah, I've been to Austin a couple times and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a cooler on wheels. Just you'll see them everywhere, just boogieing around.
Which isn't nearly as off-putting as a robot, a humanoid robot.
Right, it's the anthropomorphizing. What does the cooler do? Does it have drinks in it?
I don't
I
know.
think lunches.
Actually,
I
yeah.
mean, like you can. It's like Uber Eats.
Like DoorDash
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. I think they might be. They're one of those companies, robots. Oh. I don't know if it's Uber Eats or DoorDash.
I've always wondered that too. About I hear in like the very big cities like New York, LA, they have those drone deliveries for like Amazon and stuff. But I've never
Yeah.
actually seen like footage of it happening. I've always been curious.
Do they have it? I didn't know.
I've
did.
heard that they do in the
Yeah.
large cities. They have like drone delivery for Amazon.
I mean, it's
I
a
don't
matter
know.
of time because Amazon more than any other company delivers more. Is competing now with the United States Postal Service for amount of deliveries. As soon as they can possibly get robots,
Swarm.
oh, they are on top of that.
Just
Yeah,
everywhere you look,
Yeah.
goddamn drones everywhere.
yeah. I saw that.
I hope regulation will keep that down because that would be annoying if it was just a swarm,
Yeah.
like a huge mosquito, like
Just all day.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
that would be pretty annoying. So I'm assuming regulation will prevent some of that,
Yeah.
even the FAA.
But if you can get your pizza in like 10 minutes,
All right,
Well,
I revised.
Yeah.
That'll be some of maybe as a culture we'll have to accept too. Is like maybe waiting for 30 minutes was better. Or
Yeah.
it'll be. There's no way to put it back in the.
I
box.
miss some stoned guy flying up my driveway,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
pizza. And now I got some robot like, ooh.
I think we're gonna live through some pretty wacky shit.
Yeah, I never thought about the humanoid walking around shit, but I
Yeah.
guess.
They just had the big Tesla party where their stock dropped afterwards.
Yeah, because it was all bullshit. There was a dude that was running the fucking robot.
It was all run by remote.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Like
real.
a joystick
Yeah.
in the broom closet.
That shit's a lot. Elon Musk said like 8 years ago that we were 4 years away from having all driverless cars, and we are nowhere closer to that. Don't believe anything he says. He's a complete asshole. So this shit'll be happening, but probably a little farther off.
I felt like early on, Elon Musk did want to improve the world, like years ago.
I don't know.
And then he just gave Trump $75 million, and I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Him at
Like,
that rally was fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
boy.
Man. When-
that's why his stock actually
Yeah,
dropped.
I
He was
mean,
doing the fucking arm in the air
Yeah,
end of the Breakfast Club bullshit.
just the whole vibe. Like, I know kids talk about aura these
Yeah.
days. It was like negative 10 million aura.
Yeah, there,
I mean, it
there
was
went all your riz.
Oh, the
dog.
vibes were way off.
Yeah.
It's not even just that it was the Trump thing. Just his whole energy was
Yes.
like because I think he wants like that alpha shit.
He
a little.
really does.
Kind of like Rogan wants it, except Joe Rogan's 4'11" and Elon Musk is like a South African dork.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
And his mom came out and was like, he has mental problems. Leave my boy alone. It's like, yeah, I know.
God.
He does. You shouldn't be out here. You shouldn't be the richest man.
Well,
in
it's
the world.
weird. The man, he's posting all this untrue shit on his social media app, and it's like I just can't believe it. Honestly, I mean,
Well,
I
it's real.
can believe it, but-
Here's what it is. So, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, two billionaires,
yes.
two psycho non-American billionaires, want to be oligarchs in America. They basically are, but they want to get Trump in there, and then they bought. All they have to do is give Trump money and tell him he's cool, and he'll
Yeah.
do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They want to take over.
A little investment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't given him more. I heard Trump was at what people that give him money, a donor meeting, a large donor meeting, and basically complaining to all the, like, he was supposed to be cool and like tell everybody how great they were, and rather than doing that, he just was being a sourpuss and complaining that nobody was giving him enough money. Like, man, this guy.
This
This
fucking
fucking guy, dude.
Well, I remember when
Talking about Arnold Palmer's dick for 10 minutes.
that is crazy.
And standing there silently for 20.
Yeah.
Dancing for 38.
First off, you're stepping on a material.
Yes, exactly.
Watch it. buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Stay in
crazy.
your own lane.
I mean, I'd have him on.
But he,
yeah, he's going on anyone's podcast
I know.
these days.
he
We
was
could
on
probably get him.
Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn's, I know, so I didn't watch it.
Theo Vaughn is having JD Vance on now, too. I'm like, Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn, what the fuck are you doing, dog?
Yeah, he's kind of leaning that way a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I'm a little-
Seems to happen.
Did you see the Andrew Schultz podcast? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, flagrant or whatever?
Yes, he had Trump on that, and they were laughing at him the whole time, and he didn't understand they were laughing at him.
Oh, really?
It's pretty funny.
That's
I did
fun.
not see that. What I did see with Elon, it's one of my favorite things with his. Speaking of him owning his own platform, is when on his own platform he got caught for like harding porno and
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, my God.
It was like foot porn and all this stuff. I
and he
was
had
like, aren't you like supposed to be a genius or whatever?
he has a couple burner accounts
Yeah.
too, where he's like pumping himself up with his burner account.
Yeah.
And people found that too. Dude,
Elon's so hot.
yeah. Have you seen this guy? Oh man.
Yeah. But I find myself thinking more and more back to that Dan Quayle stuff, or I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll never forget where he was listing off the different places they were going to go, and then he went, yeah,
Yeah. Howard Dean.
yeah. I don't remember even politically.
That was the end.
That was the end of his career.
He got third place
He got excited.
in Iowa, where he was supposed to win.
He was running away with it.
Yeah.
He was running away with it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
And then he goes, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was
No.
right up there with potato.
It's over. Yeah, it's over, bitch.
Yeah.
It's done.
It used to be that. I mean, like that would be
Now,
the
it used to
biggest
be
problem.
one
you know?
thing disqualified you,
Yeah.
and now Trump grabbed him by the pussy, he still won. It's like
Yeah.
he can fucking do anything.
It ruined what's his face's career. Whatever Bush, the guy who was like
Jeb. Yeah, Jeb
Oh
Bush.
no, the
Please clap.
Please clap.
the,
Yeah.
the young guy that was like interviewing him during the grab him by the pussy.
Oh, what the hell is
He's more
his
of a
name?
TV guy.
Yeah, the
Something Bush, Billy Bush.
Billy
Billy
Bush.
Bush.
Yeah.
Billy Bush.
Yeah, he got
fucked.
canceled.
Yeah,
Yeah, like-
canceled.
For being like, oh yeah,
For being you
Yeah.
hanging with Donald,
yeah, just being there.
and he's like, hell yeah, Donald.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and agreeing with it.
No, no.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
He didn't know it was gonna come out like that.
Jesus.
Poor
And
Billy.
then fucking.
I
Trump
thought we all
became
disagreed
president.
this was locker room
Yeah.
talk, right, everyone?
Yeah.
No, me? I'm
Poor
the
Billy
one?
Bush.
Yeah, he's gone. That's true.
Yeah.
He
He's
never
totally
came back. That was 2016.
He went the way of yeah,
Yeah.
He did. He Howard Deaned out.
yeah. God, how long ago was that? I know.
Howard Dean?
Yeah,
That's like 2000.
that long ago. Oh.
2004?
I bet it was
Yeah.
2004, probably.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
not
feel like I
2000.
definitely remember watching it like on YouTube and being like, yeah, like not even knowing what was.
Because that would have been the second
fucking asshole.
Bush. Yeah,
I just remember like I would never forget the
yeah.
Oh, they still play it.
Yeah.
They played it. I mean, when it happened, they did not stop playing
No.
it. They were mixing it.
Yeah,
this guy steal.
yeah.
This guy can't be president. Did you hear that?
Yes.
So funny.
You would think he farted or something.
Yeah.
We're going to Colorado. We're going to Michigan. That I could understand. Yeah. He did a hee-yah, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Well, they're out here saying people that have worked with Trump say he shits his pants
Yeah.
too.
that's wild.
Yeah, I saw they were saying yesterday that
Crazy for that one.
the Fox News people, when they have to interview him, they put Vapo Rub under their nose because he smells like rotten roast beef.
Oh,
They're
my
quoted as
God.
saying.
Yeah, that's like a Howard Hughes thing where like you get to a certain level where no one you only have yes men, so
Right.
who's going to tell you you
Right.
smell
I
like
haven't showered in 11 days. I'm still good, right, guys? Oh, boss, you're great.
Yeah.
You smell like roses. I thought so. Meanwhile, his diaper is caked onto his ass.
Oh man.
Release those medical records, Trump. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. He does
do it.
him fucking. I mean, and he brags about passing cognitive tests. Like he's straight up going like he's like they show me a picture of an elephant. I go elephant. Like I'm a fucking genius. Like what are you talking about?
They showed me one of those Rorschach.
Yeah, yeah,
I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah.
Couple more weeks to go.
Thank God. Even though that definitely won't be the end, but it'll be the beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end of America,
or hearing Trump's ass all the time.
I can't remember. How long does it take, like, before we know, like, it's all officially done?
We'll probably know that night.
I know they kind of have that constant update.
But it will.
It depends. It depends. It could be later in the night, or if things get really crazy and like Kamala wins like Florida or something, which people say may happen.
Yeah,
something like that. Then it's game over, and that's it.
It won't be game over. Trump,
I don't.
Though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that will be.
They're going to try the same shit again.
Absolutely, and he's trying to make it more. I mean, there's people acting more violent on the internet than they were before. So we'll see.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I guess I obviously have my own little world, but I feel like now all I get is suggestions for groups I never asked for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and unfortunately, I wind up joining a lot of these groups because I'm like, honestly, sounds all right.
Grandma's recipes?
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
I got into that one like a week ago. I'm like, some fire recipes here. That's some good shit.
I showed Angela one where it's like big backs only or something like that. Big backs just like fat people or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's all fat people recipes. And I was like, this is some good shit. But it's like, I get none of my friends anything. It's all just like groups and suggested and ads. And I'm like, God. So I can't even get mad at anybody anymore now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when you were saying people getting more violent, I believe it, despite, I don't see any of it now.
Yeah.
And Instagram is just not really the platform for it. So, and I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah. I drove to southwestern Iowa today.
Oh.
Saw a fair number of Trump won signs. I'm like, get the fuck over it, my God. But he's not, so they won't.
Yeah. As we talked about earlier, it's hard to get over. It's time. Heals.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't be a Trump on this whole thing.
Yeah.
You gotta
Here we
get
go.
over it.
Jay-
Take the L, move on. Be a better person.
Just insist you're still together.
Ask for a recount on the relationship.
All I need is 2 more votes that we're together.
Yes.
Can you find those votes?
Yeah.
Now, that's good.
Just act like you never broke up.
Yeah, it's like the Seinfeld bit.
Yeah.
Where he
Costanza, yeah.
he walks out, quits in a fiery storm, and then comes back and acts like it didn't.
That's based on a true Larry David story about SNL.
Yep.
Where he quit,
He blew up and quit SNL and stomped off, and then
pissed off, and then just went back to work and was like,
talked to one of his friends. He's like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that." So his friend's like, "Just go back." It's like, "Should I?"
act like it didn't happen.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
All right, Tuesday, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing for lunch today?
Yeah.
What? This fucking guy is still working?
It would probably. I mean, it did work.
That was that. I didn't have the same story, but when I worked at Earl May, I worked there one day for 9 hours, and then wasn't on the schedule again. And I went to a meeting, an all staff meeting, and I walked in there, and he goes, "Excuse me, we're closed." And I was like, "I work here," and they're like, "Oh, come on in." And I was like, "Okay," yeah. And then they put me on the schedule, so. It was a thing. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's easier just to put him on the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's giving the bird surge, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Earl May. Where was that Earl May? Is it still with us?
It was where the McAllister's Deli on Douglas is, right across from
There
Merle
until
Head
a few
Mall.
years ago.
Yeah,
There's still some around. I know Earl May as an institution still exists.
it is. Actually, I was in Shenandoah, Iowa, and that's the home of Earl May.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't. Yet another company I did not realize was Iowa.
Yeah. I think it's funny. You were talking about Yonkers earlier. I didn't realize Yonkers was an Iowa-based company till like 2 years ago.
I just learned right now.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. I just assumed it was New York-based, like a Macy's or something.
Des Moines.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well, even the
yeah.
guy who, like, I signed a lease with, an older guy who was telling me all about the history of the building, said they based it off of New York built. Like, when you come to my place, it's interesting because the middle section is like all catwalked and it has a big skylight in the middle.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a West Side Story
cool.
set. It's really cool.
Everyone has their laundry hanging up across
Yeah,
it.
it looks like that.
Old ladies are yelling at their kids, waving.
Oh, so you
spoons
live
at
in
them.
one of the like looking out into a courtyard apartments?
It almost is like a courtyard, not quite that big, but it's built that way in the middle. And I guess it used to be open air, and then as time went on, they put a skylight over it just for whatever weather reasons or something. But I guess it was all modeled off of like New York City type buildings. And when you see it inside, it, especially that little middle area, it looks like it. So it's interesting that they weren't from there.
Yeah,
Maybe they
sounds
just visited off.
Well, I mean,
Guys are in the middle with a fire and a garbage can, singing
looks
doo-wop.
like that. It really looks like that. Where I was like, this would be a cool place to like, shoot a scene.
Yeah.
You can shoot a sketch.
night.
Barbershop quartet. But yeah, Yonkers. I mean, obviously, Wes has talked to us about Doll's history, which is a whole other thing. But
Wolverine T. Doll,
I forgot about
fucking
that.
crazy,
It
Amazing.
is fucking crazy. Well, we can start landing the plane. I think we're in a
Are
pretty
you
good
serious?
spot. Yeah, pretty close, 25, 10-25. But
crazy.
I guess this kind of ties into the political shit we were talking about. I wrote this just kind of as a note. It feels like the world needs to find a way to start compromising between one another, or we are fucked. That they talked about that in the Civil War. I'm not done with it yet, but Ken Burns. That's teaching me a lot about what's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they talked about in that where it was two parties essentially unwilling, like the people of the Union and the Confederacy were unwilling to compromise with each other at a certain point, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're going to go to war." Then.
Yeah. Well, take a look at the Nazis and compare it to what Trump and friends are doing. And you go, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
it ain't far off."
History
It's a lot of the
repeats
same.
itself.
Yeah.
And I also wrote that I feel like the last time the world was truly together was when that big guy was dancing all by himself, and somebody put out the clip to make fun of him, and then the whole world like put on a dance party for him. You remember
Oh,
that?
I don't remember
It
that.
was like a big guy dancing by himself, and someone put up a video trying to trash him, being like, "Look at this fat guy!
Yeah.
What a dumbass!"
I remember that. I have a vague
And he was
memory
just
of that.
dancing with himself, vibing, and then you could see himself get caught getting filmed, and then got all sad. And basically the whole world, almost Moodang style,
Oh,
like
nice.
surged, and they put on I think it was thousands of people
Yeah.
came together and put on this dance party for him.
I feel like
that was the last time the world was truly together.
for real. And pre social media, there used to be things that brought everybody together, like often. Now I guess we got Hawk Tua and Move.
That's not bad.
Where everyone, it's just like it's saturates everything, but nothing like we're like as Americans we're like, oh, here we go. Like
since-
9/11
Yeah,
did that.
9/11 was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And since, not that we need another 9/11, but
Well, when the aliens come in a couple years, then we'll get there
there you
again.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're I don't want to say fat and lazy because not everyone is, but like as a country we are.
Yeah.
You know, we've sort of rested on the laurels, I think, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's part of it too, is just the complacency of life. Nothing, as a country, we need blue chews.
Well, that's, I mean, there's that Carlin thing, like keep us drunk. I don't know, and busy where we have to fucking work and we take pride in working so much that we don't have time for anything else. And when we get home, we just want to fucking sit down and be there.
Yeah, look at the screen.
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's everyone points it out, but the idiocracy thing, I mean, it's pretty dead on.
Yeah.
Especially
it
when
came so quick too.
especially I loved the comparison shots of Hulk Hogan at the RNC.
Yes.
And then
President Camacho.
yeah. I was like, it's pretty close.
Yep.
That being said, both national conventions did seem like a little too. You can tell they're competing with each other
Yeah.
for like pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, they're both kind of corny. I mean, just
Oh,
the
yeah.
amount of it,
But it's funny, and to watch either one, especially, it's all like, but Republicans like making fun of what the Democrats were doing at the convention, being like, joy, and like having all these celebrities and all. And it's like, you had fucking Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off. What are you talking about?
America.
Yes,
And Kid Rock
yeah.
playing.
Kid Rock was playing for about
Yeah.
17 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in a weird spot. I mean, part of it might be my generation, but I feel like growing up, it was Columbine, it was 9/11. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's always been kind of fucked.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
Right.
You didn't get to live in the good times like Toll and I did.
No. Now we're all over school shootings. School shootings are just like, well, okay, I don't want to hear about that anymore.
Yeah, I remember Eddie Pepitone, one of his amazing sets he had at the old club. He had some bit referring to that because almost every time he would do a different set.
Yeah.
Like every set for every show is different, but he talked about that where he was like, school shootings, boring.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, it is like, it's so sad that could become like old news. Like,
Yeah.
it's like old hat.
I mean, it happened here a year ago.
Yeah, in Perry.
Yeah. And we're all just like, whatever.
Yeah, I knew some people
Only
who
3
like,
people? Meh. Horrible.
Yeah. I mean, there was a shooting, not school shooting, but shooting happened like over the weekend.
Yeah.
At like an event.
a park.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had friends that were at that. Yeah, where it's just off the hook
Yeah.
these days. With
Yep. We're
But
all
the-
little cuckoo bananas right now.
Yeah, well, when you say it's getting crazier online, that scares me, but I will be voting regardless.
I mean, there's been 2 assassination attempts on Trump. One attempt and 1 failed attempt, I guess.
One
2
guy got
failed
caught
attempts.
whacking off in the bushes.
yes. Sitting in the
Yeah.
bushes for 12 hours.
Ran out of granola.
I don't know.
If he would have had a water bottle the size of Shiloh's, he would have pulled it off. Shiloh has a giant water bottle, folks. A shout out Michael Douglas, mainly because it just always makes me smile when I think about he came out to the world and was like, "Everybody, I have throat cancer from eating Catherine Zeta-Jones pussy."
yes.
Basically, word
yes.
for word what he said.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
I thought it was
"Ah,
more eating
oh."
so many pussies.
So maybe it was.
I think it was a mix of the
HPV
two. Yeah.
But we all
yeah.
thought of Catherine
Yeah,
Zeta, and I was
yeah.
like, well, even if you die, it's still pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah. There's worse ways to go. Yeah.
Worse ways to die than dying from eating Catherine Zeta-Jones. But
Yeah, you get cancer from getting pesticides sprayed on you or eating pussy.
Yeah.
yeah, like even the women are like, nice, Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Sorry about
And
that.
it just kind of made his voice cooler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I eat the puss, is what he said. Here's another scroll note. I feel like one of those dumb squirrels trying to run across the street, and God is a Ford F-350. Like the squirrel that waits until right before in front of it and then runs out.
Yeah.
I judge a lot by the people who I can tell like don't slow down or swerve at all.
When I see that, it sickens me.
Sometimes they'll speed up, and I'm like, yeah,
Gross.
we know who you voted
People
for. buddy."
trying to hit raccoons, and I'm like, you're just the worst.
It is mean.
It is mean.
I think I've only hit like one little creature, like a bunny. And I still think about it.
Yeah. I was in a car when a dog got hit, but he ran away. He's okay, as far as I know. I ran over a bunny once going backwards in a driveway at about 3 fucking miles per hour. And I was like, and it was like a thunk. I look back and there's a fucking half squished bunny flopping around. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was going reverse at 0 speed.
And the buddy was like, huh?
yeah.
I was thinking about something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy from fucking Austin Powers
Yeah.
waiting for the steamroller.
Yeah. Ah!
Yeah. I was like, well, you got what you deserved, I suppose. And if my cats can catch you, you got what you deserve too,
That's right.
because they're no geniuses.
Every single time I see I will be staying in the Beaverdale page, regardless of my leaving it.
Yeah,
Leaving
yeah,
Beaverdale.
yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, every single time I see a cat related
found
post, I'm like,
cat.
yep, I'm waiting to see one of the McGrains pop in the comments,
God.
baby.
Yeah.
Leave the cat alone.
Yes. Like who? Like I found a super friendly cat. Took it inside and fed it some bologna. What should I do? Let it outside. My God. Yes.
Especially if it has a collar or it's super friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not mangy.
Yeah.
It's probably taken care of.
Probably doing all right. Has a home.
Just
I
like
tried
that-
to give both my cats I have a home collars, but Paulo wasn't having it. And I didn't see Space Ghost for days or a couple days. And then he came home with fucking one arm through the collar. Like he definitely, but I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, this is it's supposed to be a breakaway collar too. I was like, no, I can't do it. I wanted to, and I wanted them to wear. I wanted them to wear little bells too, so that they couldn't eat so many animals. But
We need to get a necklace for you that says "I have a home." Make you wear it when you go out. Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
instead of I have a job post, I'll just start wearing a sweatshirt that says "I have a home."
Yes.
It'll have a picture of Sarah and my daughters. Like,
Little
don't worry
map
about
on the
me.
back.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when I let my hair go for a while and I'm not wearing a hat. I'm like, yeah.
Fully house trained.
Yeah.
Oh, I found this guy. He's really friendly. I'm feeding him bologna.
Yeah.
Put him back outside. Let him go home.
Molly hops in the comments. All right.
I found this fat friendly guy.
He
He
came,
has a home.
came scratching at my door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he likes chicken.
I don't know. I turned the TV on. He wouldn't leave. Yeah.
Ain't gonna get much better than that, folks. No Sleep the podcast lives on. Sorry about the little delay. As always, am AJ Simmons.
Ooh, and I am Toll McGrain.
And I'm the ice cream king of Des Moines, Alex Carter.
Goodbye. Thank you, Charlotte.
Bye.
Fucking AJ, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic. Ba-da-ba.